Hi everyone. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on the Harry Potter punch needle kits because they have some quirky details and things I want to walk you through. So I'm going to talk about both the whomping willow project and the Harry Potter logo projects in this video. So with both of these, I just want to point out, so the Harry Potter one, or the Harry Potter logo one, I wanted some extra funky, kind of whimsical details. And as I was doing this, I decided I very much wanted to put all of that on the back side of the punch needle. So this is the side you work from, and it's also going to be your final side. Well, for my preference anyways. Now, this, if you were to turn this around, is the loop side. And I just didn't like the definition of this. So I kept it this direction, and I think it's a really fun way to do this. So I'll show you how to get this kind of textured effect. Next is the whomping willow. So again, this is the back side. So for some small details like the branches, the car and wheels, I really find that you get better definition this way. And then I had a little bit of fun doing the twisty trunk part of the tree, and that can all be done from the back side. This is what the punched side looks like. And again, well, obviously I would trim my tails off if we were doing this as the front, but I just think I really took to this side so much more, and it's really fun to get this twist in here. So I have an example, and I'm going to show you how to do both techniques. So for the Harry Potter one, the first thing you would want to do is just outline all of the red, and then you would fill it in with the different texture. And then same thing for the P, you would outline all the yellow and then fill it in. So I'm just going to do a tiny bit of outlining. If you need help with some of the basics of punch needle, I have an intro to punch needle video, and I'll walk you through some of those things. Here really quickly, I am just going to get some stitches in. Back this up so you can see it a little better. So all I'm doing is just going to go right along the edge, outlining this H, just kind of following it around. And for this video, I'm just going to do the lower part of one side of this H, and then we'll get to how to do this fun texture. Okay, so I have this bottom section done. Now what we're going to do, and this involves a lot of turning. So you'll notice I'm having my needle all the way in, and I can turn this and rotate as much as I want. So what I'm going to do to get that fun texture is actually make some very long stitches. So I'm going to go from one side of this H all the way to the other side. To do that successfully, you need to make sure that you are keeping your needle as close to the canvas as possible. I'll show you again. So I rotated it the other direction because you always want the open face of your needle facing forward. I'm going to cross over a little bit. See if I can get this to zoom. And again, I'm going all the way across. And then I rotate again. And all the way across. And rotate. All the way across. Okay, and so this is what it's starting to look like, and I'm starting to get a little bit of texture. I'm going to pull the needle out so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so, and then this is going to get cut off, these tails. Okay, now you can overlap this as much as you want to get as full of a texture as you want. So you can go on top of old stitches. You can, so if I wanted to, I can even go from the side that I'm on all the way across just to get In fact, I just lost my stitch. That's a good thing to mention. If that happens, you just kind of smooth out your hole. So I have can you see that? I don't think you can see that. Right in here is a little hole. I don't know if you can see that, but you just kind of take your finger or your needle and just kind of smooth it out. And then just keep going back and forth, and you'll get a really fun texture all across. And I find that works really, really well for the Harry Potter symbol. When you are done, like my small scissors, you just cut your tails off, and then everything will look nice and clean from this back side. And then I would just do all of the red and then all of the yellow separately. Now, on the Whomping Willow projects, and so, well, before I move on, you'll see in mine, I went all sorts of different angles and just keep going and going and going, add as much yarn as you want until you get the thickness that you desire. The H, I mostly went across side to side. The P with the lightning bolt, I decided to kind of go at an angle, and it looked really fun, and I made some thick sections. Play around with it. You can always pull your stitches out, clean up your holes, and then try it again if you want to try a few different textures. Now with the Whomping Willow, so again, everything is on the back side of this. So the car, I like to start with the car. So I do the light blue first, then I fill in this dark blue tealish color with the wheels. Then I go through and do the brown. And for the Whomping Willow branches, this is all just a single stitch, so it's nice and thin up here. Down here is just a normal back stitch. I say back stitch. You're just doing a stitch on the back side of your cloth. So, which for you, it's going to be the front of the template. You'll never have to flip it to see your final side. So normal stitches here, and then I'm going to show you how to do this really fun twist. So we're going to just practice it on here. So let's say I'm doing my roots, and I get to the part where I'm going to do a twist. So, and I'll probably, let's see, I'm going to draw this on just so you can kind of see what the template would look like. So let's say, all right, so we're at the trunk portion where we want our twist. Okay, so right in here. So when you get up here, you're gonna start from a bottom corner and go to a top corner. So to help yourself, you can kind of pull up on your yarn, hold it with your other hand, and that way you can get a little bit of a tail happening with your thread here without it pulling out. So get it kind of loose, and then you're going to push back in at the top corner, the opposite top corner. Does that make sense? I went from bottom to the opposite top corner, okay? Then you are going to, again, you're going to pull up on your yarn, and then you're going to go all the way back to the opposite corner again. Keep rotating your hoop, and you'll go back and forth in this one direction until you get things nice and full. And I'll show you kind of what this looks like so far. I like to go kind of back and forth with, if I'm entering on this side of what I've already done or this side, just to kind of continuing to give it that extra depth and extra twist. So for this one, I'm going to go all the way, and again, hold it with your finger if you need to, all the way across. Sorry, I know it's kind of hard to see in a video. And I'll hold my yarn again, get a little extra, and all the way across, and just keep doing this. And if you get a little extra, just pull your yarn from the tail of your needle and just keep going. Okay, now what I wanted to show you is that if I do it too tight, I'm going to start to lose my stitches. So this one popped out. So it's okay if that happens. Just go ahead and let your stitch come through. There will be a hole and you just kind of fix it with your needle. Okay. Resituate yourself. So pull your yarn back to where you want it. Make sure your hole's all filled in by kind of just scraping your needle. Put it back in and then just make sure you're holding your yarn instead of pulling on it. If you pull on your yarn at any point, it will pop right out of your cloth. So that can be a frustrating part of this project. And if the twist is too hard, just do a normal stitch through it. But it's fun if you can get the hang of it. So, and you just kind of go back and forth until you fill it in. And you, again, you can make this as thick and twisty as you want. Obviously it's a fun, whimsical tree and you can just have some fun and give it some personality. And every time I do it, it comes out different. And I like that. I think it's really fun. And so now, and I'm not completely done with this, but pull your needle out when you're done and you end up with this big twisty blob and it looks so much fun for the whomping willow. So give it a shot. Again, if it's, you know, sometimes things get a little frustrating and that's fine. So just do the normal stitches if this is not working for you, or set it down and come back to it. It can definitely be a little tricky if it's your first time trying to do something like that. But I look forward to seeing some examples of how you guys have completed your whomping willow and your Harry Potter logo. So if you are able to, I would love to see some pictures of your final projects. And good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you.